morning, everyone. Welcome to the Haverhill Journal Live for Monday, June 21st, 2021. I'm Lindsay Paris, here with you tonight from the HC Media studio. Tonight at Hilldale Cemetery, a gravestone cleanup has begun on some of the historic veteran stones found there. Donald Jarvis, Haverhill Veterans Advocate, is here to give us more details. But first, the issue of food insecurity in the Merrimack Valley has gained momentum during the COVID-19 pandemic due to income loss and other forms of instability that arose in 2020. As part of the LEADS program, a group of Haverhill stakeholders created a plan to address food insecurity in the city. Tonight we have two group members with us, Allison Heartquist, the Mayor's Chief of Staff, and Kerri Perry, President of Community Action, Inc. Welcome, ladies, to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So, tell us first, what is the LEADS program?
The LEADS program is funded through Harvard Business School. It is a group of cross-sectoral leaders in the city of Haverhill. It is also a group of leaders through Lawrence and Lowell. And we are tasked to basically come up with a program that will have systems change within our community. So me and my cohort, which includes Kerri, came up with a project that surrounds food insecurity.
So how did you choose that topic, food insecurity, for this project?
I think I think it shows us. I think the pandemic revealed a lot of vulnerabilities in the systems throughout the Merrimack Valley and specifically in Haverhill. And we were all in our different corners, in our different positions in Haverhill. We were all sort of keenly aware of the food issues that were bubbling up for community members, but also the food resourcing issues that were presented to the food banks and organizations and the network that serves individuals who are food insecure. So we recognized that we needed to bring more food resources to the community in order for community members to be better served.
Now, what are some of the major strengths that you find and some of the weaknesses you find in our area revolving around food insecurity?
I'll start with the strengths. We have multiple amazing food pantries, and they do God's work. And they assist so many different residents, and I think it quadrupled the number of people that they were serving during the pandemic. And the fact that they were still able to serve the community was just astonishing. So a really positive thing that they do is they work together. It's not seamless, but they do work together to provide open pantry or meals provided every single day of the week. So there is some sort of collaboration, but as we've found, there needs to be more.
And I wouldn't call the issues really weaknesses, but there were some vulnerabilities that came through, and some of that involved volunteers who are mostly elderly, who were either afraid to come out during the pandemic or they were sick themselves or caring for family members at home. Right. So we recognized a need for more volunteers at food pantries, which still exists. There was also a need for transportation. You know, a lot of food pantries rely on trucks, which require a CDL license, not just a regular license. So sort of matching food pantries up with transportation opportunities became very clear to us. But there's only 4 food banks in Massachusetts, and they just didn't have the capacity to serve all of the need in regions like ours in the Merrimack Valley. So being able to provide resources to the food pantries that went beyond the reach of the food banks was really important to help keep those shelves stocked here in Haverhill.
Right. I know that's been such a challenge all over the state and all over the country.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what are some of the next steps that we can look out for from this project?
So we have collaborated with
Groundwork Lawrence.
Thank you, Groundwork Lawrence. They're partnering with us to basically get us off the ground and running. So we had to do a business plan at the end. We had to break down what our funding needs are, what our overhead is, what our staff requirements will be, and they have been gracious enough to take on the money that we did actually win. Is that the right word?
Yep, we were rewarded.
We were rewarded. There we go.
Yep.
Awarded. So they're going to start off partnering with us, and then hopefully take it and run.
Right. And how can the community help out? Because this is a big project, and I'm sure there's a lot of people watching who are like, I want to be part of this, you know?
That's great, and we look forward to many volunteer opportunities here. I think reaching out to your local food pantry is a great first step. I know a lot of them have volunteer opportunities. There are many food pantries in Haverhill. A lot of them revolve around faith-based groups, but a lot of them are in local organizations. Another way to help would be to actually donate food or financial supports to the local food pantries here in Haverhill. There will certainly be opportunities with our initiative, which is going to really connect local manufacturers and local farms who have excess food to the food banks so that they can support locally and not, sort of reducing a carbon footprint, not bringing food resources into Boston. They'll be keeping them local here, and hopefully present more fresh food opportunities for families. So back to your volunteer question, there's always places to volunteer here in Haverhill. Seek them out. There's plenty of nonprofits, but especially around the food supports, this is a really critical issue right now.
And if they are interested in volunteering, they can just call us at the mayor's office or community action, and we have a list of people who they can contact and call. So yeah.
We're happy to connect.
Wonderful, wonderful. This is such a great issue, and I'm so glad that your team is going out and addressing it. Allison, Kerri, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's great to hear about this program.
We look forward to updating.
New cleanup efforts are underway at Hilldale Cemetery. This 20-plus acre cemetery contains more than 4,000 plots, some of which date back to the 1850s. It is known for the large number of Civil War veterans who chose Hilldale for their final resting place. Cleanup efforts at Hilldale Cemetery have been ongoing over recent years, and they continue this summer with a gravestone cleanup effort organized by Haverhill veteran Donald Jarvis, who is joining us here on the Journal today. Thanks for joining us, Donnie.
Thank you, Lindsay, and thank you for having me.
Oh, we're always thrilled to have you. So the Hilldale Cemetery gravestone cleanups began last year, and you just started up again this past Saturday. So tell us a little bit about it.
So I moved to Haverhill last year, and cleaning and working in gravestones has been something I've been doing since 2014. I have a really strong passion, and I love what I do. So when I came here to Haverhill, I linked up with Tammy, who oversees Hilldale, and I said, what can I do to help you? Back in 2015, I restored a 3.5 acre cemetery that dates back to the 1600s. So I'm very familiar with the massive undertaking that this is involved with. So beyond just getting her volunteers to mow and to rake, I spent a lot of time cleaning and restoring gravestones. So I've decided to take on the task of cleaning and restoring the veteran graves at Hilldale. And last year we started. We did 16 last year, and I'm already done 3 this year. And my goal is to knock out 36 before the year's over.
Now, before we were talking about how much work that really is, because like you said, those gravestones are really heavy.
Yeah.
So tell us about some of the effort that goes into it.
It's a lot of work. I tell all my volunteers that they have to bring elbow grease and a lot of it. Working in the cemetery is very labor intensive. There's a lot of physical work. My majority of what we're going to do is scrubbing. I have a tripod now that does all the lifting, but we still have to do some handling of it while being very gentle. These stones are several hundred pounds in weight, and if you drop them, they will hurt. So we avoid that at all costs. I ask people not to lean on headstones as they could fall over.
Yeah. Now, why is this important to you?
So I'm really big on honor and respect. And you can see a lot of that right now in the city of Haverhill around the veterans. And I think the Haverhill Exchange Club has recently highlighted that with their banner program. That's all honor and respect. And this is what the cemetery for me means. I'm repaying my honor and my respect to those before me in hopes that, we're going to beautify the cemetery for our veterans, but down the road another 100 years when I'm laying in dirt, maybe someone will take care of my grave. I don't do it for that selfish reason, but I do think that, paying honor and respect to all those who have worn the cloth of our nation, rather it be from Revolutionary War till now, deserves to have a respectable grave. So that's what we do. And it's about 2.5, 3 hours of stone, just scrubbing.
Yeah, it's an incredible amount of work, but it's an amazing effort. And some people watching maybe might want to get involved. Are you looking for volunteers?
Always looking for volunteers. Many hands make light work. So, I could, the more help, the more we can do. And like I said, I want to do 36 stones this summer. So people who want to volunteer can contact me by email, which is Jarvis, Jarvis, .don, @gmail.com, or my cell phone, which is 978-308-9186. And I also have a website you could go to, which is donaldjarvis.com. Multiple ways to get a hold of me.
Excellent, excellent. You're well known here in the Merrimack Valley as a Veterans Advocate, and there are many other programs that you're working on. One that's going to save local veterans on their taxes, and that is the Veteran Volunteer Tax Abatement.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
So I did, that's actually a state law that I had the city adopt, which goes in effect July 1st. You can work through the Veteran Service Office position. Louis Santiago will be a great resource for jobs that are available. What's going to happen is it's minimum wage times up to 125 hours a year, but not to exceed $1,500 off your property taxes. So some veterans may already be eligible for a tax abatement if they're service connected, if they have a award like a Purple Heart, or if they have other things through the VA, you may by default receive a tax abatement. I currently do. But the overall abatement cannot exceed $1,500.
Okay.
So let's say you do, for easy math, let's say you do 10 hours of community service times minimum wage, which I think is $12.
$12.
Right? So there's 12 times 10 is $120 off your property tax.
Right.
Plus whatever you get additional to that. So my idea is veterans have great work ethic. They're very attention to detail, and they're hard workers. Right. So and they love to serve. That's why they took the oath. Can we get veterans to be part of our community,
Right.
and in return, give them a little break on their property taxes?
Right. No, I think it's a great deal. And
It's a
like you
win-win.
said, exactly. Everybody wins. Yeah.
Everybody wins, and we could fill a lot of holes with these guys.
And you have a lot of other interesting initiatives that are in the works. So can you share
ton.
anything with us?
Which we're trying to get a lot of the cities and towns in the Merrimack Valley to be Purple Heart communities. Haverhill's on the list. I'm working on Newburyport. I think Haverhill will be done this year, it sounds like, in August. I'm also going to be back to providing cooked meals, as you were talking about with the other lady, Allison. Food insecurity is a huge piece. I've been providing cooked meals for veterans for a long time. I'm going to keep doing that. And there are a few other things that I'm looking to do bigger through the Merrimack Valley in Haverhill regarding veterans. But to stay up to date and follow on what I'm doing, just follow my website or contact me online.
Yeah.
I'm always doing something.
We definitely will. Maybe we'll have you back for the next, because it's always something. This guy's always up to something.
Yeah. I enjoy sharing what we do because I'd want to get others involved.
Yeah.
That's,
Very cool. Yeah.
Many hands make light work. I'm actually making my own challenge coin right now.
Cool.
Which is going to be a giant link. Because I tell a lot of my vets and people I work with, so whatever it is, let's say it's HC Media, right? That's going to be the chandelier. And in order to hold up that chandelier, it takes a lot of links to work together, right?
Yes.
But we're only as strong as our weakest link. Right? So to me, working together, we're all links holding up the chandelier, which is whatever we're doing.
Right.
And I've never seen a chandelier with just one link.
Yeah.
So it takes a team. And I use the word team, right?
Yeah.
Together, everybody achieves more. Right? So
Together.
I'm all about having a solid teamwork.
I love that. I know, and all of these teams, all these people working together make this community just so much stronger.
It's great.
You know?
You know, I was a one-man team in Newbury. It was tough trying to pull out people. Here, it's like you guys have a ton of people that want to do stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, how can we work together?
We're lucky. We live in a great town.
You do.
Absolutely.
I'm glad to be here.
Thank you so much, Donnie. And here at HC Media, we'll also be keeping up with the Hilldale cleanup throughout the summer. And that's our show for Monday, June 21st. Thanks so much for joining us. Watch the Haverhill Journal live again at 5:30 and 9:30 p.m. every weekday night on Channel 22. And as always, keep watching HC Media for up-to-date information, series programs, public service announcements, and more. I'm Lindsay Paris. Good night, everybody.